Marine Corps colonel coming on along with Tosh Plumlee to expose ongoing fast and furious guns through Mexico to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. We know the shipment. We're trying to stop it. I'm going to probably call Homeland Security on air. In fact, guys, pull up that See Something, Say Something number for me, because we're going to try to stop this arrogance that's going on right now. Robert in Michigan, I want you to have a comeback bringing up that great point that black unemployment's basically right at doubled under Obama. And a lot of black commentators I know, it's just say, look, I'm not even a conservative, but we literally funding, attention, and he doesn't even go speak in these communities. And it's almost like, well, the poorer we make you, the more you'll be under our control. That's the view I see. And for everything I've heard about Donald Trump, this guy really gets off on making everybody wealthy and really, really likes everybody, regardless of what color they are. So I want you to be able to come back in a moment. But Roger, can you speak from your experience, 40 years?
Well, look, first of all, it's anecdotal. I must say the number of African Americans at Trump rallies just seems to be disproportionately large. And as I travel, because I have spoken out for Trump and on behalf of Trump and given a lot of surrogate speeches for Trump, it's amazing the number of people who come up to me in airports, on the street, in stores, in restaurants, and they high-five me. The irony is that the vast majority of them are African American, just anecdotally. So I've seen it firsthand. People like the fact that Trump would re-energize the economy. These people want their piece of the American pie. They don't want to be employees. They want to be
Look, even Louis Farrakhan's liking him. I mean, I'm not. It's just getting. People want prosperity. They want to hear we're great.
Well, I like his bow ties, but I'm not crazy about his politics.
Well, he just likes hearing, bring money back into the communities and get the country going. Robert, Michigan, I come back to that.
Yeah. Well, my point is, I know this. Most of the free world, a lot of people know this, but the mainstream, they do a poor job, in my opinion, but, somewhat effective. Like everything you mentioned about how bad the Clintons are. I watched the Clinton Chronicles. I sat there and watched the whole movie. And it's very factual, very, I presented the facts and I understood it. And all the other cases that you make, Mr. Stone. But I guess my question is, how do you get that message to the mainstream?
It's a great question. Thank you, Robert. Got to jump. Great question.
That's what a campaign is about. That's why you go out and support super PACs that oppose Hillary Clinton. Because if the mainstream media, say CNN, doesn't want to interview you, that means you have to buy a 30 or 60-second spot in between their program breaks. That's advertising. This is the great thing about Citizens United. It used to be just the Clintons and the Bushes had political money. Now any citizen can go out there and be effective. Speech is money.
Let me ask you this, because I know you'll straight shoot us. You don't rah-rah. You don't cheerlead to put a good face on things. In fact, I think you give us the worst case. A lot of times behind the scenes, you tell me this is how the state's really going to go when the media's saying the opposite. And you've been right. I mean, you're super accurate. Not kissing your butt, no brag, just fact. What's his real numbers, looking at all the polls? I mean, it's true he's getting ahead of Hillary, right? But, I mean, what do we face? The money issue? I mean, how is Trump really doing right now?
First of all, the idea that any Republican is running essentially even or in a dead heat or slightly behind or slightly ahead of Hillary Clinton at this point is extraordinary. You usually don't see this kind of closeness and gap closing until much later in the campaign. That means that there is, without any question, enough votes here to elect Donald Trump. Now, Trump is about to undergo the most virulent, nasty campaign of vilification in American political history. At the same time, they're going to try to discredit and smear the brave women who are going to stand up and tell people what the real Bill Clinton is like, a rapist. And they're going to attack him on a dozen other things, calling him a bigot, a racist, a misogynist, a lunatic, a wild man. It's the Barry Goldwater treatment. I don't think it will work. People are on to the two-party duopoly and their smear tactics. But this is the fact that Trump is this competitive in states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, is extraordinary.
Florida.
This is going to be very, very.
Is he going to win California?
It's not impossible, but in all honesty, in my model for 270, he doesn't need to win California.
All right. Roger Stone, StoneZone.com. Thank you so much. What's the name of the PAC again? The good one.
The Committee for American Sovereignty. I think there will be other fine PACs and
sure, but we don't want to support Karl Rove running off the cookie jar. Thank you, Roger. See you here in studio Friday.
Take care.
All right, at the bottom of the hour, we've got recently retired Marine Corps Colonel Matt Smithmack joining us with an update, and Robert Tosh Plumlee, famous CIA whistleblower. And then at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to get into all the other news and world events I haven't covered. Then Paul Watson always does a powerful fourth hour. He'll be hosting from London, England. Matt Smithmek was on the main board at Guantanamo. He's commanded major bases. I'm not going to go over his giant bio, but he's got an amazing career. He's been threatened, physically attacked for the information he's exposing here. They're trying to talk to Congress. Congress won't give them the time of day. Senators, House members. This is so dangerous, what you're about to hear. And, of course, we've had Brian Terry's brother on. This is about Benghazi. This isn't just about Fast and Furious. And this is about Brian Terry being killed so they could cover up the fact that guns weren't just being shipped from gun shops. That was to blame the overall operation on gun owners, but from military bases. There's about to be another shipment right now, as we speak. It's about to happen or is happening. And do we call Homeland Security on air? So this is on record? Do we call Congress? What do we do? What do we do when the whistleblowers have come out, it's happened, and no one gets in trouble? We're reaching a level where we have all the witnesses of the stand-down order at Benghazi. We knew about that 4 years ago when it happened, but now it's confirmed. We know there were troops 25 minutes away, loaded up on an aircraft, told to stand down. Now they can ship the guns directly to ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and we can have people out blowing the whistle that are being physically attacked and death-threatened. What comes next? This is a new level. In fact, guys, I was asking, did you get me the Homeland Security phone number? Will you bring it into me? Thank you. Because I intend, I guess today, I've done it before, call Homeland Security on air and make a public report about this. But this is a public report on almost 200 stations around the country and millions listening and watching on the internet right now and millions more when, the videos of this get posted.
Hey, Alex, this is Nico. I'm popping in live right now to let you know that we've been searching for a number and we've been unable to locate one. Their website's been redesigned since Jakari did that stunt, and they're pointing everybody to call 911 now.
That's right, because those are the local threat fusion centers. They have the whole see something, say something deal, and they still have some 800 numbers to the FBI. They still, you know what, I want to call the FBI Austin. And it actually says San Antonio, but it redirects to Austin. And then I guess, you know what, that's a good idea. I guess I could call the Austin police chief. I've got his number. But that'll be referred to the feds. But, I mean, this is Colonel Matt Smithmek, and this is Tosh Plumlee. We're going to go to him right now. I'm not going to go over his whole bio, but, again, the Marine Corps colonel has, let me just give you some of his bio here. Joint Strike Fighter Joint Program, Office USMC Requirements Officer, Tribunal Member and Chief of Staff, Naval Base Guantanamo Bay. Chief of Staff, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. This is the middle of his bio. The Office for Administrative Review and the Detention of Enemy Combatants, reviewing combatant status of over 500 detainees and working closely with former Secretary of the Navy, FBI, CIA, DIA, that endeavored. Deputy Branch Head, Aviation Manpower Headquarters, Marine Corps, currently consultant and entrepreneur. I mean, that's just a small part of his bio, but he's trying to tell Congress and trying to tell the FBI, and then all he gets is physically attacked from behind and death threats. I'm just hammering that here now that we're just doing an update because it's the end of the month and the shipment's about to happen and it's classified, so it's illegal. It's all the Hillary stuff. They're trying to tell Congress, and they won't, America. So, Matt, Colonel Smithmek, thank you for coming on. Tosh Plumlee's here as well. You guys just pop in and take control here of the broadcast at the bottom of the hour and just get the info out. Because this is short and sweet, not focusing in on the story. Folks know about it. Our audience does, but how to get reportage on the shipment that's about to happen or has happened.
Hey, Mr. Jones, it's Matt Smithmek. Yeah, and I wanted to say also, Kent Terry said he'll be listening today. I let him know.
Fantastic. I want to thank him for his courage. So bottom line, tell us about the shipment. What's about to happen? What do we do?
Bottom line, sir, there's a shipment went. We let Congress know, House Oversight, let them know. Nothing. They did not act on that information. So the shipment went into Mexico, got on a train, went southeast to a port, and then God knows where after that.
And this was a few days ago, because you said it was at the end of the month. This was a few days ago.
This would have been the 23rd of this month. Yes, sir.
Because last time you were on, you said it was imminent. You weren't exactly sure when. So now it's happened. Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
Yes, sir. Another shipment in about 3 weeks or so, 3 to 4 weeks. Again, letting Congress know, letting them know there's an individual willing and able to help them. Kent Terry knows this person. William Lajeunesse knows this person. All they need to do is engage with this person, and I think it's that one area that the federal government, the executive branch, utilized to execute fast and furious in these kind of operations. But for some reason, the legislative branch seems reticent to want to access this domain that is, we have a unique insight and opportunity to get into.
So this would blow Fast and Furious, Hillary, the whole system to kingdom come politically, and Congress won't act on it.
Well, sadly, it appears that way.
Wow, this is just such a huge deal, and I knew that was coming up at the end of the month, so I wanted to get you on. So this has now happened, and it's just ongoing. Have you received any other threats, Colonel?
No other threats. I mean, the kind of the friendly warnings from people who are concerned, saying, "Hey, back off. You don't want to be found face down in a gutter somewhere." But this is too important. As I said before, in the first time on your show, we're citizens, not subjects. And as a Marine, Brian Terry deserves my full effort and faith to make sure closures come to him and his family.
Well, sure. What if they're shipping 5-year-old kids next, which the UN does? Are we supposed to just let them ship little kidnapped kids out? I mean, how long do we sit here and watch crime committed? Let's go to Tosh Plumley, famous whistleblower. Tosh, you've been helping break this wide open because folks knew you had the courage to talk about it. What's the bottom line for listeners and viewers out there that Congress stood down and let this happen?
Okay, let me back up here and see if I can get a little bit of background of how Matt and I got together. 4 years ago on your program, we mentioned exactly what we're covering now. We talked about guns going across the border to Mexico, which was all up and over and above Fast and Furious. That Fast and Furious was a cutout for an international gun running operation that was being filtered through Mexico to the Middle East and into Gaddafi's bunkers. That's been documented before the fact. We also documented on your program and other programs and on my Facebook page that monies were going back to Hillary Clinton from foreign donations of people that was receiving weapons from our arsenals that was approved by the Direct Commercial Sales Program, Blue Lantern Report. This was all documented. Today, on a Huffington Post, briefly put out an article that confirmed information that went back 4.5 years ago, which was covered on your program and also on John B. Wells' program on Coast to Coast on November the 2nd, 2013. These were documented, vetted information. That information was also, at that point in time, turned over to the U.S. Senate, the Congress, Trey Gowdy, and Grassley in the form of 11 Benghazi questions that made direct references back to the gun running operation, which was legal at that point in time, but it was going across Mexico to the Mexican Army. The Mexican Army was filtering a percentage of those weapons off and sending those weapons to the drug cartel, which was proven when Joaquin Guzman was arrested, and some of those weapons ended up in his safe house. Now, what got the current situation between Matt and I together, his investigation, Brian Terry's investigation, and my investigation, all three dovetailed right together over a period of 5 years. Brian Terry was killed on December in 2010. 8 months later, we were sitting in Las Cruces, New Mexico with 5 sectors of the Border Patrol Intelligence Unit, and we were telling them exactly what we are talking about today. The Senate, the Congress, the President of the United States, and the U.S. State Department did not, they said the information was from non-creditable sources, multiple sources, myself included. I went on Facebook page, mainly for protect myself and my colleagues from information before the fact by publishing in detail exactly what our investigation had run over. From a task force that was working out of Fort Bliss, Texas, into the Mexican Marinos, and also with the Mexican Army. We had infiltrated the Mexican Army, found out that they had informants that was working directly with the cartel, and all this information was passed on to the U.S. Senate and the Congress. Absolutely nothing was done. It was turned into political that we, our crew, and our investigators, and our people, and our military people had an axe to grind against this administration, and they turned it into a political vendetta. and made us look like total fools.